From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a big midday here on LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2022. In this home recording direct from Santa Monica, California, if you're watching at 11 a.m., it's live. If you're watching at 7 o'clock, it is now taped. It's home stream stimulus then. We're going to go over the incredible great news about your fourth stimulus recon, the Build Back Better Act, and the push to get that money out the door. But new signaling, new questions from viewers. Can we get the checks into something else sooner rather than later? I'll have all the analysis for the first time on this channel. We'll be looking at not only CR for stimulus, but the questions you've been asking about executive order. You've been asking about the Boost Act. You've been asking about the other opportunities across the board that would add checks to the incredible recon or separate them out and send them out by themselves. Is it opportunity? And I'll analyze it in this recording. The recon passed the House, is now in the Senate, and the big checks that will go in on top of that are on top of $15,000 of checks. With third stimulus repeated under fourth stimulus, $45,000 of that. Student loan debt forgiveness of an update. This stimulus, all of an update. But if you're watching this show, you know what Home LA is about. It is about food, home, decor, beauty, and more. And in this recording, we bring it back to something a little bit more spicy. Spicy? Yeah, literally more spicy. In today's recording, we go over the deliciousness of sauces and how to be a little bit saucy. I'll be going over sauces that make it hot, spicy, and all right. Stimulus check going out, yeah. Need a little bit of hot sauce to get their feet going, yeah. get their hands in action to get that checks out, yeah. It's all in this recording, plus how to bring the savoriness of deliciousness to the house with delicious sauces you can buy at the stores. Those details and more as Home LA heats up, starting right now. And here we go. The House of Representatives passed that incredible recon back in the month of November, is now in the Senate. And the Senate changes would add additional checks to that recon. How much checks on top of $15,000 are we looking at? Well, there's a push underway to put an MSC, and Joe Biden wants checks to go out ASAP. I'll have why Joe Biden is ready in this recording, plus student loan debt forgiveness, this stimulus, and what you need to know about that as well. But for the first time on this channel, we're going to go over the opportunity to send out checks separate and apart from the recon, separate and apart from the Build Back Better Act, and get them out sooner rather than later. How does this work? What are the details? You've been asking questions. We're going to go over CR for stimulus. We're going to go over executive orders. We're going to go over the Boost Act. We're going to go over the opportunity of this stimulus going by executive order. Whoa, there's a lot in this recording. Plus, we're going to go over all those incredible checks. But first, I want you part of this family. Go into this video right now and subscribe. You're watching LA, the #1 most watched channel on this subject matter, and #3 financial news channel in America among print broadcasts and also internet. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member to this incredible channel to get that newsletter Monday through Friday. Also sign up for those LA alerts. A link is under the video. We're going to first go over the incredible checks of this recon one at a time, 3 clusters, 3 add-ons, and then we're going to go on the brand new news you're hearing for this recording live on air if you're watching 11 a.m. direct from Santa Monica, with the opportunity to get checks out faster by not putting them in the recon. Wow. Let's look at these checks one at a time. There are about $15,000 of checks in this recon with 3 clusters and 3 add-ons. Let's analyze each of them right now. First cluster, hazard pay, $4,000 of elder care. Hazard pay is the earned income tax credit established under pre-existing law but broadened under third stimulus. Learn about it at irs.gov and what they want to do it again under fourth stimulus. $4,000 of elder care, $4,000 of care for young children. They got the Pell Grant in there, $500 check for my college students, the $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle, and the home repairs if you live in a low-income community. Incredibleness. That first add-on of checks comes from the incredible Maxine Waters. She wanted to put that provision in there. And what is it? Well, it is money for purchase of your first home. It's a little bit less than $25,000. She advocated for $25,000, and this is money given from the federal government to the seller in your name at the time of escrow. Wow. Which tees us up then for the second cluster of checks in this incredible recon, and that second cluster of checks is right here. Home repairs and paid leave. Paid leave and home repairs. These home repairs are to weatherize your home. Which paid leave? How much is this? W-2, $10.99. Uber, Lyft driver, work at a department store, you would all get it if you're sick and have to stay home from work. And if you live with a family member and they have to stay home from work because of you, same situation. How much? A lot. $1,700 a week approximately if you make $70,000 or more per year. $35,000 annual salary, then it would be $800 a week. If you make $15,000 annual salary, it'd be $400 a week. And yes, if you don't work but your son or daughter lives with you and they have to stay home from work because you're sick or have to take you to the doctor's appointment, then they get a check across the board. There you go. That is the second clusters of checks. Now let's turn to the second add-on of checks. I'm excited for you to join me live and direct from Santa Monica, California for watching 11 a.m. $250 billion of free home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. From Bob Casey, got it in there, and Joe Biden had this a campaign promise. Now let's turn to the incredible third cluster of checks. Lots of deliciousness. Seniors and free internet. Wow. So free internet, free school meals for all checks, money for farmers, money for the independent contractors, and then seniors. 2 provisions added on the House side, 3 coming on the Senate side. Very, very consistent with what we're looking at. On the House side, they got in there the Medicaid gap fix and the hearing. But on the Senate side, they've had to add 3 other provisions, which are dental, vision, and lowering the eligibility age of Medicare. Par for the course for what we're talking about in MSC. The third potential add-on of checks is incredible recon. What is an MSC? Who gets it? What's the eligibility? When would this go to the finish line? All those incredible details on how to advocate for it is coming up right now. First, what is an MSC? The Recon, Build Back Better Act, has multiple checks in there. So to make sure we're not confusing the situation, we refer to these as specifically MSCs. It's a program where the checks are sent out from IRS on a monthly basis. So it's a monthly IRS stimulus check. So who would get it? Legislators have told tens of thousands of viewers since the start of May of last year that you would get it based upon the same eligibility as a third stimulus check. But I have new insight about that right now. Single individual, $75,000 or less annual income, you would get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less annual income, you would get it. Double it. Family of 4, you get it as well. Quadruple it. If you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security or railroad benefits, you would get it as well. It's not income. It's not taxable. It's offered to all states. It's not paid for by the states. It comes from the federal government. Then adult dependents would also get it as well. And finally, one person asked me overnight, what about the manner of delivery? Dependent on how you file that tax return. So the tax return has in there your direct deposit set up, then that's how you would get paid because this is coming from IRS. Okay. So then we have the question about how much. Those legislators have said since the month of May that the amount would be the following. $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter for up to 6 months. There you go. Which then tees up the question, how do we get the check out the door in the Build Back Better Act? And can we take part of these checks out of the Build Back Better Act? It's brand new now. At home, LALATE, you're hearing this for the first time in this recording because we have new insight about that starting right now with the breaking news. So, the Build Back Better Act is a body of legislation, also called the Fourth Stimulus, also called Social Spending Plan, passed in the House of Representatives back in November, now in the Senate. Everything that was written in the House is staying in there, written by Democrats. It's thousands of pages. Here are some of those thousands of pages. And the senators would add provisions to the recon. Now, when would they do this and how would they do this? Senators would first take the recon from the House, send to subcommittee, make modifications in the subcommittee, then call for vote in the Senate floor, then pass on the Senate floor, then call a 2-day vote-a-rama and add additional provisions across the board. Adding in provisions like an MSC. Joe Biden has said in the last 7 days he wants his recon to go out. Then Chuck Schumer said in the last 7 days he wants his recon going for vote very quickly. Very, very easy across the board. But something brand new right today, and we're going to start it right now. Are there other opportunities to get a check in your hand? Not all of these checks, but just a check in your hand, separate from the forced stimulus recon. There always is that opportunity if they listen. And they listened in 2020 and they can listen in 2022. But overnight, viewers have asked me about going over the other opportunities. Are they real or are they not going to work? So we're going to go over CR for stimulus. Would work to get you a stimulus check before this recon. Build Back Better Act goes to a final vote. What about the Boost Act? Does the Boost Act get you a check sooner? Then we'll go over executive order. Can the president get you a check before that? Then we'll go over whether executive actions, but not executive orders, can get you money, real money in your hands sooner than all of us. And then we'll turn to Steve for seats for stimulus before we go into Home Allied second half. Let's go over all these incredible details. And you know what Home Allied is about. It's about your money, the first half. The second half is about hot sauce. So we're going to zoom through this. And if you want more about these details, tune in tonight for E! Allied as it continues. First, let's go over CR for stimulus. CR for stimulus is an idea I created in December 2020. Let's go back to what was happening in spring of 2020. In spring of 2020, the first stimulus was over, and we then first heard about a potential second stimulus package. The negotiators were Nancy Pelosi on behalf of the Democrats, Steve Mnuchin on behalf of the Republicans. The negotiations started in spring of 2020, continued in the summer, continued in the fall, and continued in the winter. And they were not done. By winter, I looked at the situation. I said, I have two people negotiating. They don't have a deadline. They're just continually negotiating, and we're not finished. How about taking the money of this recon and putting it, this second stimulus package, and putting it somewhere else? So my idea was, I need something that has a deadline that will get the money to us faster and is not tied to an enormous package. We were talking about second stimulus package, a behemoth, thousands of pages in length. I said, how about we have something smaller? And I found it. A continuing resolution budget bill is done by the federal government approximately every 6 months. It has a lot of different names, but the concept is very simple. It's money to run the government. They have to do this every few months. To run the national parks, to run the federal buildings, and the general name is a continuing resolution, CR. At the time, its deadline was December 2020, and I said to myself, why not come up with the idea of putting a stimulus check in there? And I said, well, it doesn't belong in there. I know people are going to say to me it doesn't belong in there. And then I thought, well, they keep on doing stuff that doesn't belong anywhere. Why can this also not be wrong as well? So I prepared for going on air and delivering my message to the viewers of how this would work, why I think the viewers would like it, and why I think the naysayers would dislike it. So I prepared, came up with the idea, and delivered on camera in December 2020. Hi, my name is LALATE, and I have an idea. The idea is that we should put one stimulus check in the continuing resolution that has a deadline of December 2020, is what I said at the time. The deadline will not be missed because continuing resolutions, they roll them over maybe 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, 30 days, but they don't roll them over more than that because the federal government defaults. The federal government shuts down. They don't want to do that, whether it's a Republican or Democrat. They don't want to do it. How about we put one stimulus check in there, advocate for its inclusion, and we do it with the hashtag campaign, hashtag CR4, the number 4, stimulus. If you're in the live chat right now and know how to write that hashtag campaign, write it so other people see it right now. I delivered the message, you advocated for it. And quickly, the naysayers were ready. I was ready for the reaction. The naysayers said exactly what I thought they were going to say. They said, it doesn't belong in there. It doesn't belong in there because the CR for stimulus is the concept of putting a stimulus check into a budget bill for the federal government. It's money for the federal government. Here you want to send out money to the people. It don't belong in there. I said, who cares? You're right. You're right. Don't belong in there. But Congress historically has passed legislation where they put stuff in there that doesn't belong. So why not do this? During the pandemic, during COVID relief, during the pandemic relief, they were passing all these COVID relief bills and they were inserting provisions into those COVID relief bills that didn't belong in there. Money for foreign governments, militaries, money to open a new federal building, money in there to expand the Department of Copyrights. If their money doesn't belong in there, why not put our money that doesn't belong in there and send it out to us? So we pushed and we pushed. And we woke up one morning and they said, you know what? We like the idea of putting extension of unemployment benefits in the CR. We said, no, that's not what we asked for. So we pushed again. And then finally, it became a reality. The $600 stimulus check that was sent out to Americans as inserted into a continuing resolution in December 2020 was my idea. I came up with the idea. No one had seen it. No one had heard about it until I made that first recording. Everyone came after me with that recording, saying it was the most ridiculous thing they ever heard. We pushed back. We explained it doesn't belong in there, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. And it became the reality. It became the check that millions of Americans wanted. Now, looking to the present, a week ago today, I said, do you want to do it again? Do you want to do CR for Stimulus 2022? And viewers said yes. And I agree, because everything looks exactly the same. 2 years later, it looks the same situation. First, it's been over 11 months. CR for Stimulus 2020 started in spring of 2020 and was a result of them not getting it done by December. It was nearly 11 months. Where are we looking at right now? We're at about 11 months, a little bit longer, February 2021 to now. Number two people negotiating, yeah. Joe and Joe, and then Steve and Nancy. Number three, no inherent deadline. There's no inherent deadline then. There's no inherent deadline now. Get the check in here. So the concept is very simple. We are not killing the recon. We're not gutting the recon. We're just saying, put a stimulus check into the budget bill. And what is its deadline? February 2022. Put it in there and send it out. And then when you get to the recon, you can send out more money across the board. Viewers have loved the idea because one, it has a deadline. Number two, it's quick. Number three, it doesn't complicate the situation. Number four, it doesn't annihilate the Build Back Better Act. All right, so now let's address some of the great, incredible questions I've got in the last 24 hours. Those questions really show the ability and skill set of the Purple Power. Purple Power has been trying to think out the box, think outside of the box, and that's what you want to do. Can we get money out another way? And now I want to go over all the questions and the analysis right now. First, some people have been asking me on Twitter, can the president do it by executive order? The answer is very, very clear. Can the president go to the Department of Treasury, open the door, grab a wad of cash, and mail it to you? The law is 100% crystal clear. He cannot. And despite how many times I make that recording, there's always someone on Twitter that says the president can send an executive order out to send out stimulus checks. He cannot. It's against the law. Now, what the president can do is he can take money that's not in the Department of Treasury, that's somewhere else, and repurpose it. The most common example is what I featured on this channel in 2020 under the Trump administration. Had Donald Trump done this, he may have won the election. At the time, there was $550 billion of money that was not in Treasury, but in the Department of SBA, Small Business Administration, under Javier Lay, that had been allocated previously for a program. That program was expired. The program no longer needed the money, and the money was just sitting there in SBA's bank account. Does the president have authority to reallocate the money and use it for another purpose? He does. So that is something that Joe Biden can do. Do I know of any money about that at the moment? I do not. But as an executive order, can Joe Biden go and grab money out of Treasury and send it out in the mail? He cannot. He has no authority. Now, here's the easier way to do this, folks. Very, very easy. The President of the United States can issue it's not even executive order. It's like a memo saying, you know what, this agency, I want you to do something different. I want you to do it differently starting tomorrow. And that doing something different will pay the American people more money. We saw this first in October of 2021. Joe Biden picked up the phone and contacted Department of Agriculture, said, the SNAP benefits you pay every month, you're paying them, but you're not paying enough. So I want you to start paying 25% more lifetime. There was no executive order for it. There was no act of Congress. He just picked up the phone and said, you're going to go do this. He can do that as a president. He wrote it out. I don't want to go into the formalities of it, but it's not as much of an executive order. It's lower than that. So what can he do for you right now? Fifth stimulus. Nearly everything I see in fifth stimulus, the president can do by this executive instruction right now. First, He can pick up the phone and call Social Security Administration and say COLA benchmark doesn't work at 5.9%. It's too small. So I want you to remove COLA benchmark, and I want you to start using inflation starting February 20. Well, we may be late for February. Let's use April 2022 as an example. Start using inflation as the benchmark. Inflation is 7.8%, folks. COLA is 5.9%. That would give you 2% more money every month in your Social Security, SSI, SSDI check. Very, very simple. You don't need an act of Congress. You don't need a fiscal stimulus package. The president can just simply pick up the phone. Have we seen something like this before? Yeah, we saw this on the Trump administration where Donald Trump picked up the phone and contacted FEMA and said you had extra money sitting around, repurpose it for LWA. He can do this all the time. But this is even easier. We're not repurposing money. We're just saying the way we disperse the money, we have different eligibility. Let's go back to FIST stimulus. How many provisions of FIST stimulus can the president do without an act of Congress? I got to tell you, folks, I think he can do all of it. Can he remove the asset cap? Yeah. Can he remove the income cap? Yeah. Can he remove the marriage penalty? I think he can. Now, if the marriage penalty is a law, then no. Then if it's a law, the president can't undo a law. But if it's not a law and just a guidance, it's a guidelines of the Department of Social Security Administration. It's a guidelines. You can tell them, I don't like your guidelines. Change your guidelines. If it's an actual law, then no. Then they'd have to come back and change it. And then this stimulus, that would put you more money in your bank account. Now, let's go over the other questions you've been asking besides the executive order in the last few days. How about the Boost Act? So I got a lot of questions in the live chat and also in social media about what about doing CR for stimulus plus Boost? I actually did not know what the Boost Act was. I looked it up and now I have the answer for you. No, won't going to work. If you're viewing this channel, you should sort of by now know what works and doesn't work. What is the Boost Act? I don't even have to tell you what it is, but I can tell you what it's not. The Boost Act is a Democrat envisioned bill that has never passed anywhere. Now, let's say it's absolutely incredible. Let's say it sends you $30 billion. Guess what? If it's a Democrat proposed bill, it has to go by recon. It will not pass with bipartisan support because Republicans won't do it. So can they get this done by recon? Well, they can't get the Build Back Better Act done by recon. Why are we talking about the Boost Act? The Boost Act is no faster than the Build Back Better Act. So Boost Act gone. That if you're a viewer of this channel, you should know that the Boost Act would never work because it has to go by recon, and it's not easier than the recon we're doing right now. So that's gone. Then, the next question I've been getting has been seats for stimulus. Seats for stimulus. I had an opinion about this yesterday, and my opinion about it is different today. The concept of seats for stimulus was also created by me on this challenge of 2020. At the time, we had some Republicans who wanted to give you stimulus and lots of Democrats who wanted to give you stimulus. So we had two political parties both wanting to give you something. Where are we right now in 2022? We have one party, Democrats, want to give you money, and the other party not want to give you anything, Republicans. So if it turned to a Democrat say, I want to kick you out of office and replace your Republican, seats for stimulus, well, that doesn't make any sense because you replace them with someone who's not going to give you money. That was what I said 24 hours ago. New today is it could be different if there's a third-party system. What would be the third-party system? People said, LA, you should run for president. Well, let's say we had individuals who were running for Senate offices across the country as part of the Purple Power Caucus. Then there is that alternative. You would have a senator who is a Democrat, let's say Joe Manchin, West Virginia, saying, give us a stimulus check or I'm going after your seat. Who are you going to replace it with? A Purple Power Caucus member whose platform is to send out money, to get money to the American people. That is the alternative. If there was a third-party Purple Power Caucus, that would work because you could tell the Democrats, you're trying to do good, but you haven't done it. I got a group of people that'll do it better, and it's not the Republicans. It's a third party called the Purple Power. That's how it works. And with that, let's go over then finally the important notion of what's going on today. And you'll see this more throughout today's videos. Bernie Sanders has really taken things the wrong way in the last 3 days, and I don't know what's going on, and he needs to rope it in. It was a week ago today where Andrew Bates, the president's spokesperson, said the recon will get done. Great. And that we're turning down the volume. That was a week ago. Turning down the volume meant we're not going to run our mouths in the press. Bernie Sanders, quote after quote after quote in the last 3 days, has literally turned the volume as high as possible that you need earplugs. It's not looking good. What is Bernie Sanders doing? He's going after moderate Democrats, asking to kick them off of committees, going after them personally, and then going after their programs. The problem is that if you're going after moderate Democrats' programs in the recon that don't hurt anyone, that help lots of people, that's not a good look. That's really not a good look. And it's getting so delicate a situation that now people that are not seen as really moderates or progressives, like a Bob Menendez, Democrat of New Jersey, says, you know what? Bernie Sanders is basically flip-flopping. He's now becoming sort of disingenuous. This is not looking good, folks. Bob Menendez is not supposed to be coming after Bernie Sanders. That's one breath away from Chuck Schumer coming after Bernie Sanders. It's not looking good. And what is he saying? He's saying the same thing I said 2 days ago. Why is Bernie Sanders going after the salt cap? It's wrong, it's incorrect, and more importantly, the salt cap doesn't hurt anyone. It helps working Americans. And even if you think it helps one group, it doesn't hurt another group. So this don't make sense. The president needs to get Ron Klain to tone it down. The president needs to get Bernie Sanders to tone it down. And they need to stop going after one another. One thing we learned from Nancy Pelosi in 2020 and 2021 is you do not pit one another against one another publicly. You can have disagreements behind closed doors, but you don't have the same people in the same political party going after each other. In the second half of this video, we're going to go over the incredibleness of how to bring the spice. And I don't mean the spice as Bernie versus Joe Manchin. We're going to be talking about how to season those foods around the household with some delicious spicy sauces. I'm going to jump in the live chat and chat with you and see what particular secret sauce you have. We all have secret sauce to get stimulus out the door, but what is the secret sauce you have? There is a lot of sauces that are unique to different parts of the country. And those different sauces may be something someone else in another part of the country have never heard of. One of the sauces I have on set that I'm going to bring to you is actually sold here in Southern California, but is really not a dominant force. I learned about it in the Midwest. Maybe you have a hot sauce you live by that have never heard of in other states as well. This is the interaction that we have only on Home LA. It's coming up in the second half. Jump into the live chat during the commercial break and tell me the sauces you like to deliver the hotness. And I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as Home LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. The excitement continues right now in the second half of Home LA, directed live from Santa Monica, California. If you're watching 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time today, and if you're watching later in the day, it is an encore performance. During the commercial break, I said, what is the favorite secret sauce you like? And a lot of people had fascinating comments. Crayola Sushi King said, I like Boom Boom sauce. and Crayola both said they like Chick-fil-A sauce. So I'm going to be going over some of those as well because I've never heard of either of those. Those incredible details and more, we're coming into the second half right now. If you've never watched Home LA, we go over food, cooking, decor, skin, hair, beauty, everything. And today's recording, we're going to go over how to bring the heat to the action. You need to put heat under these senators to send out your stimulus checks as well. So what is the hot sauce? Question and point. First, let's go over the hot sauces. What do you like? Second, is it only where you're located and they don't have it in other states? So let's take it back a notch. Here is what is very, very popular here in Southern California, Tapatio. It is a very prominent hot sauce in Southern California. On the level of salsa picante, it is very, very hot, and it has a lot of incredible deliciousness about it. What do I recommend when buying a Tapatio bottle? I know it's not economical. It doesn't show financial independence. I go for the smallest bottle possible. Why? It's not particularly economically sensible, but the bigger bottles, it just doesn't seem to it doesn't seem to work. First of all, the smaller bottle you can put all over the refrigerator, or you can keep it. You don't have to refrigerate, by the way. You can keep it in the cabinet. It's about 99 cents. You start to go to those bigger bottles, they just become cumbersome. They just take up all this space. Number two, they seem to just, I don't know. When you get the bigger bottle, and it's been around for 2 months, it's like, it doesn't seem as inherently fresh. You just keep on getting brand new 90-cent bottles, every 2 months, as opposed to one bottle every 6 months. So that is Tapatio. Now, when I was in the Midwest a few years ago, I was at a hotel that had a breakfast buffet, and they had little packets of a hot sauce called Texas Pete's Original Hot Sauce. I never heard of it, and I really loved it. And so I got it and that morning, but I said, I never heard of this. So I came back home here in Southern California, had real problems finding it at first. Finally, I actually found it in Rouse, believe it or not. But it was buried. Now, it is an example of a product that was really not widely distributed in Southern California, but very the dominant market force in another part of the country, the Midwest. On the level hot, actually has a guide on the side. I've never seen that till now. It has a guide on the side. How hot is it? And they put it as mild to medium. I put it to medium to hot. I don't think it's that mild, but it's especially not as hot as Tapatio. If we're in the live chat right now, let's jump in there and see what hot sauces you like. Jump in the live chat and tell me what hot sauces you like and where you located. And I will tell you if I've ever heard of them. The fact that I may not have heard about them doesn't mean it's not sold here, but maybe it's not dominant. We have a few people here in Southern California who are also in the live chat, so they'll help me gauge whether we've seen these items. So there's Tina says, I like Frank's. Is Frank's a hot sauce? I've never heard of that. I don't know. Where do you get that Frank's from? Let me see some of the other comments in the live chat. Now, during the commercial break, some people were talking about Chick-fil-A. Is that sold in the supermarket or just in Chick-fil-A? Which makes it a little bit more complicated. So I'm referring to products that you can actually get in the market. So here's Shirley Parker. I like Texas Pete's hot sauce as well. There you go. Worcestershire sauce. Yes. Now, there's a lot of different brands of Worcestershire sauce. That's fascinating. And that comment came in from... who'd that come in from? I just lost it. But someone just said, I like Worcestershire sauce. Yes. Lynn Glenn says, I like mild sauce, not too hot. And Sue Brady said, I agree. Let's look at some of the other incredible comments. Oh, here is Tina. I like green chili sauce. Wow. Now, obviously, I'm not getting paid to promote any particular brand of this live chat. So if you have a brand you like green chili sauce, drop in the comments because I won't know what to look up. I'll just go to, Amazon, like green chili sauce. I have no idea what I'm looking for. Bo's sauce, says Faith, can only find in upstate New York. So there we go. That's what I want to hear. Faith Angel, New Jersey, says he or she likes Bo's sauce, and it's in upstate New York. There's Daryl, really helping us as well. Frank's is a hot sauce, and you can get it on Amazon. Wow. So we already got Bo's, B-O-S-E, and we have Frank's. So that is great. Oh, so Crayola King says Chick-fil-A sauce can be found in Walmart. I may try that. We've had a lot of recommendations for that. There's Tina. She says, I like sriracha. I do too. I don't know. It's a little too sugary for me, but I like it. I like it. Um, Tina, they also make marinades and wing sauce. So I think that was for Frank's. I think that was for Frank's she was referring to. I'm not sure. So far we have Frank's, we have Chick-fil-A sauces, and we have Bo's, Frank's, and Chick-fil-A. New ones to consider across the board. There's Paul Kelly. She likes the Worcestershire sauce as well. Uh, oh, there's Catherine. I like Frank's also, and I'm in Milwaukee, so she gets Frank's. It's always these one-name guys and their marinade sauces. Uh, there is Anne. I usually don't have to make up in shades of purple and pink. Len Glenn, I don't like it too hot. Yeah, I agree. Now, those sauces show you the opportunity of how to get things distributed in different parts of the country. Now, here is Marsha, and she just says, I like Louisiana hot sauce. I was going to bring it on camera. I do have it. Louisiana hot sauce. You take Tapatio and you double it times 500%. That's Louisiana hot sauce. It is really hot. It is really incredible, but it is like off the charts hot. And I got it in Louisiana, but you can certainly get it nationwide. There's Faith Angel says, I misspelled it. It's Boss, B-O-S-S, not Bo's. Okay, so it's Boss, Frank's, and Chick-fil-A. And of course, Louisiana hot sauce, which is also great as well. Russia Rocks. Is that the name of a sauce? I like tiger sauce, says Rod Keys. What is tiger sauce? What does that taste like? Boom Zoom sauce can be found in Pennsylvania. So Crayola Sushi King likes Boom Boom sauce. Is that just in the Pennsylvania stores, or is that also for an Amazon or Walmart? Anne really likes that Chick-fil-A sauce dipped for fries. Wow, sounds wonderful. Taco Bell Fire Hot. So is it says Vina says Taco Bell's hot sauce. Is that, I think I've had that. It's really good. Now, is that sold in retailers as well? I never thought of buying your favorite fast food retailer's sauce in a distribution platform. What a great idea. We're learning a lot into this video today. This is why I like videos like this, where people really across the country deliver us a lot of other ideas. Boss, B-O-S-S, Frank's, Boom Boom sauce, Chick-fil-A sauce. We're learning a lot. There is Michael. He likes sriracha as well. Let's see some of the other incredible comments across the board. Boom Boom, Taco Bell Fire Hot. I want to check and see if that Taco Bell Fire Hot is available for retail or delivery, not just in Taco Bell itself. Very great question. A1 sauce is also great. Says, I can't see who that is. Papas. Yeah, A1 is really good. I have not had it in a while. It is great for your steaks. There's Tina. It's Frank's. Love the vinegar-based hot sauce. It may be a little bit on the warm for sun, but I'm from Texas, so I like stuff extremely hot. But I also like them mildly hot. So if I know what I'm having, I'm fine. Now, I don't like to be burnt to a crisp. But I don't like sweet stuff. Someone's Danny Esses. I like barbecue sauce sweetened with brown sugar and honey and sauce. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. But I stay away from that on my meats because it's too much. I don't want my meats to taste like a dessert, but everyone has different tastes. So thank you for your great comments, Danny. I really love them. Is it going to be a check or not? Grady, there is going to be a check, and it's going to come with Frank's hot sauce. And if you're in some states, it's going to be coming with Boom Boom sauce. So now let's turn to another type of sauce I have on set. This is from Smart and Final. Smart and Final is a chain like Costco, Sam's Club. It is here in Southern California. And they have a section like many of your department stores, which a lot of you sometimes miss that section. Usually every supermarket has half an aisle for what they call international. And international has such a strange name. And you walk in and you see strange plums and strange cashews and strange olives. And you're like, that's not me. And things just look sort of peculiar because of the packaging. Well, in that area is often the sauces that are international. So give yourself a little bit of time to look. And this is where you find this sauce. Now, this one is amazing. Amazing. I have found nothing like this anywhere else, anywhere on the planet, and it's in a league of its own. What is it called? It's a very confusing name. Let me hold it up to the camera so you see it real closely. It is called Lee Kum Kee Hong Kong Panda Brand Dipping Soy Sauce. That's the longest title ever. That's Lee, Lee, Kum, Kum, Kee, Kee, Hong Kong Panda Brand Dipping Soy Sauce. It's a purple wrapper on a black bottle. And Sushi King would like this. Crayola Sushi King would like this because it's perfect for Sushi King, pot stickers, and more. The reason I like it is because it literally has no ingredients. It's about as healthy as a sauce could be. It is water, wheat, soybeans, salt, and a little bit of more salt. And that's it. That is it. Where do you find a sauce for your Southeast Asian meals you make at home that is completely 100% healthy? It's this one. It's this one. And it's so insanely versatile. Let's say you're making beef with broccoli. Let's say you're just doing a quick stir fry. Let's say you're just putting some bean sprouts in some chicken. You don't have to do anything, and suddenly you've gone from an American dish to an Asian-inspired dish. You have your meat, your chicken, your poultry, maybe even your fish. You throw in a few vegetables. Maybe it's pea pods, maybe it's broccoli, maybe it is maybe it's snow peas, and you just at the very last end throw this in there. Whammo! You went from a bland American dish to an Asian-inspired dish, and it's insane. And look at this back bottle. I mean, I wish I could show this to you, but it's just you think it's you would think the back of the bottle was a mistake. It's not. Fat 0%. Fat 0%. Trans 0%. Cholesterol 0%. Carbs 0%. Fiber 0%. Now it does have some sodium because it has the salt in there. Sugar 0%. Calcium 0%. It's just all zeros. Sort of like Mitch's contribution to Lobster Fest 2024. It's just all zeros. It's incredible. So do not think you have to default to deliciousness by only buying sugary, unhealthy products. Here is a great product that achieves it. I know this was supposed to be a video about hot sauces, but it was also about sauces. And this is not mild, but it's also not hot. It does the trick. Let's see some of your incredible comments across the board. And I like making pico de gallo salsa. Wonderful. Here is Lynn Glenn. I like barbecue sauce, the mild kind. There you go. Bob Bacon. Salsa, most of any kind of brand. Really quite good as well. Clifford. I make my own barbecue sauce. Sounds wonderful, Clifford. Susan. Why are you talking about food? We'd like to hear about forced stimulus. News to Susan. This channel has 150 million views in a year and a half. I have not always talked about checks and when you're going to check every 10 seconds. I've just never done that. And I've interspersed that with both other topics, whether it's humor or food or decor or how to get white teeth. So there's a way to talk about the subject matter but not talk it to death. And if you just join the chat live in here, you can replay it. At the first half of the video, it covers everything you need to know about the checks. I went over every single check in this recon. And the second half of this video, we're having fun as well. So that's how... So for anyone who says no one wants to hear it, the case is poised that 150 million viewers have liked the way I delivered stuff across the board. Oh, here's Tina. Jalapenos, crushed pineapple, and cilantro is so good. That sounds great. Jalapenos, crushed pineapple, and cilantro. I don't know if I lost you on the cilantro, but I think I was fine up to there. There we go. It sounds really quite delicious. People are doing their pico de gallo sauces. Tamari has a less salt for those who need it. Says Panther across the board. Wow, and there we are, 45 minutes. Who knew? So to replay, we had Frank's, we had Boom Boom sauce, we had the incredible Chick-fil-A sauce, and then we had the sauces covered, and then of course Louisiana hot sauce. for purposes of our hot sauce. And then we went into Tapatio, fan favorite here in Southern California, Pete's, more dominant in the Midwest. And then we ended with Lee Kum Kee's Hong Kong inspired dipping sauce, found in all your Smart and Final stores. I don't know about other distribution. I once tried to find it online. I had problems for that as well. It's foodie time here, and I love it. And Stubbs barbecue sauce, sticky and sweet. There's a new one to end the video on. Stubbs, Stubbs, barbecue sauce, sticky and sweet. I do like sticky. I don't know about the sweet, but I like the sticky. Picante hot sauce with a touch of honey, says Crayola. Really deliciousness. And Sue Brady says Sam Clubs makes the best salsa. Wow, you learn something all day long. Coming up next is the 1 o'clock afternoon's LALATE show. This video will automatically take you there. And that is less than 30 minutes away. Then we have the brand new afternoon's LALATE show at 3 o'clock. It was taped just 15 minutes ago. So you want to know about the latest updates about your stimulus? It's at 3 o'clock. We go into evenings LALATE at 5. If you're watching this show replayed at 7 o'clock, then you're part of the evenings lineup, which is evenings LALATE at 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock is evenings countdown. 7 o'clock is an encore performance of home stream stimulus. And then 8 o'clock is evenings extra. We have shows at 9, 10, 11:30 with all the provisions of forced stimulus because they're still the same provisions for 2021. They're still there for 2022. And then we go into our overnight shows at 3, 3:30, mornings at 4, 7, and then, of course, back at 9 o'clock. And with that, I want you part of this incredible family and hit that subscribe button. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful day. A lot coming up throughout the day on this channel and all weekend long. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.